guys, Coleman here, the Up North Picker. So, the other day I was at my local auction and picked up some pretty good stuff. But, like every auction, you gotta be there for a few hours, you gotta put in your time. So, let's get right to some of the cool stuff I picked up so you guys can figure out if you should buy it or not and some values. Alright, one of the first things I bought was actually this Boston, it's a paper cutter, old school stuff. Well, it's locked, so I don't cut my hand off. Watch your hands with that thing. But I actually thought it was something cool that maybe I'd use for myself for cutting paper and other things, bubble wrap, that kind of thing. But I picked it up really cheap. I picked it up for $3, and I was looking them up online, and maybe I'll sell it because they go for about $50. And so something like that you wouldn't think, but $3 into $50 if I sell it, so that's a good deal. And then I picked up this guy. It's a vintage antique Krumkake iron, Scandinavian. They're pretty cool. They make like a Krumkake. I don't know if it's like a cookie or a pancake or however that works. That word's Scandinavian apparently. But these are made from the Rustad company, St. Paul, Minnesota. Now, I paid $2.50 for this, and I got some other stuff in the box with it. And so you're not going to lose on these. These actually come with another little iron base that sits on there and then sits on your stove. But that's if you want to actually use it to make the Krumkake or whatever. But these are pretty collectible. This brand here is more of a, it's not a heavy named brand. This is like a $30 item. Now, pay attention though, because there are some other brands of these same or similar items like this, like Griswold and Jotul, and those will go up in $100 and some dollars a piece. So pay attention if you see something like that, especially if you can get it for $3 for a box or whatever. Then I was able to pick up this in a box and stuff. It's an old GE alarm clock. I tested it and everything at the auction. I plugged it in and it works. Radio works, so the clock works. I paid $5 for it. It came with this camel tin. The camel tin, it's a little beat up on this one side. I've seen these sell for over 10, but I figured this with the beat up is worth about $5. But basically, this is worth as much as I paid. But this guy right here, these are $25. So pay attention. Now, this is electric. It's old, vintage, electric. But if you see right here, now if you can get the ones where the numbers click down, they're not electric, but they're like those are even more. Those are older and they're worth even more. So keep an eye out. You can pick this kind of stuff up for little and nothing all the time, and $25 all day. Then for $2.50, I got this whole box full of books. They're The World of Collectible Bells by Dorothy Malone Anthony. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4 bell books. Now, the prices are all over the place on these, but finding actual sales is a little harder. But every one of them is actually inscribed and signed by the author in them, and so gauging price on them is a little difficult. But I believe I'll just lot all these up in one lot. I haven't figured out what price I want to list. I got 4 of them, so we'll probably start high, $40, $50 for the lot, and then we'll move from there. And in that same lot, this book, The Big Swede by V.J. Hedner. Now, and this one too is signed by the author. I got all of these in the same lot. This is another one where I haven't found any sold prices on this book, but it's sold, it's signed and everything. It's another one where I'll list it high and then I got a lot of room to move. Somebody wants it, they'll pay for it. And if I got the only copy of all those basically available, I can set the price. And actually in one of those books, this guy was being used as a bookmark. Now this is Dumont, first with the finest in TVs. I'm like, I never even heard of a Dumont television. There is a difference apparently. This is an old tag off of some sort of Dumont piece. Now, I looked this up a little bit and I didn't find this tag at all. And so this is a piece of ephemera that I might be the only one that has one or whatever. And so what's something like this worth? I don't know. I'll have to figure it out, but it's another piece I could set high. And to list these, you could take a picture, or easiest way is just to scan it in your scanner. Boom, boom, scanned. You got a nice picture. List it. I mean, I have no idea what something like this is worth, but if I was going to list it, I might list it really high, but at minimum, I'd probably list it for $9.99. And so, just other things. Might be the only copy of this. Well, somebody's probably got in their collection. If anybody collects Dumont stuff and they don't have this piece, they're certainly going to want it, and they'll pay up. Then I found this piece at the auction. It's from 1928. It's Wadena County Fair exhibitor. It's a pin or a tie clip or what? It's metal on the back, but the front is wood. Now, Wadena County Fair is my local county, and so I picked it up for $2.50. Now, what is this worth? I don't know, because I'm the only one that has one as far as I know. And so, and I buy local stuff all the time, and usually I'll just keep something like this probably in my collection. But what is something like this? It's so hard to gauge, but I could list it high, and if somebody wants it bad enough, they pay. But at minimum, I mean, it's a $10 piece. I don't know. It's so hard to gauge. If somebody I knew really wanted it and they were local, then they'd get it pretty cheap, you know, for $10 or something. But it's hard to gauge what something like this is worth. I mean, it could be worth $100, but when it's the only one out there, you set the price and then let people make you offers. Then I picked up this ship in a bottle. I paid $2.50 for it just because I thought it was something cool. And I mean, I don't know if they still make, people still do ships in the bottles or if they still make these, but I mean, it's got the cork, and on the back it's got this maker's mark on the bottle, which I don't know what that maker's mark means. I've tried to look it up a little bit already and I haven't found anything yet. I'll snap a picture on this too, but if anybody knows what that maker's mark means, let me know, because it's hard to gauge what this is worth. I mean, I paid $2.50 for it, but I want to figure out what that means on the bottle. It might just be the bottle they used, I don't know, but it might help me know the brand of this whole deal or what was going on there. But it's hard to gauge what something like this is worth. I mean, I paid $2.50 for it, but I mean, at minimum, it's probably a $20 item, but based on that maker's mark and everything else, it might be much higher. Then that's why I'm going to do more research on this and try to get that maker's mark figured out before I list this item. Now, I was getting near the end of the auction, and there was a bunch of this Fire King Peach Luster, and there was like two boxes sitting over in a back table at the back of the auction, and they'd been sitting there for a couple weeks. I'd actually seen this stuff on the regular tables for the auction about a month ago, but I had bowling and I had to go before the auction ended, and it looked like it sold, and so I was bummed. But then for the last few weeks, it's been sitting on the back table. So I finally went up and talked to the auctioneer when he had a little break, and I asked him about it, and he said that basically somebody had bid on it and won, but they didn't pay and they never came back, and so it had been sitting in the back. And so I asked him, well, you know, can I buy it? And he said, yeah, it's been long enough, they're not coming back. So he sold me the whole lot for the minimum bid of $2.50. And so I bought all of what you're going to see here for $2.50. First piece. This is Fire King. This is like a platter. They call these this color peach luster. It's made by Fire King. It's not the most expensive pieces, like this guy right here. A nice little collectible Fire King piece, but this is probably a $10 piece. And then the sugar cup, another, peach luster with the deals, but this is about a $10 piece. Then there were 10 of these cups. I think they're basically a teacup. And once again, they'll say Fire King on the bottom. Now, these guys, they're light actually, so you can bubble wrap and package up 2 of these, put them in a small box, and still get it out just under 1 pound. And so I am going to list these, I believe, as sets of 2 for like $10 plus shipping. So $5 a piece is what I'm going to sell these off for. Remember, I paid $2.50 for all these, and there was 10 of these. Now, one of these, this guy right here, has a lot of wear on the inside, like it's been washed a ton. So I probably won't sell this piece unless I sell it in a big lot at the end or put it up on a garage sale next summer, because to me, I don't want to get a return because that's so worn out on the inside. So technically I have 9 of these, and so I'll sell in lots of 2s for a while, and then the final lot, maybe I'll sell 3 of them or something. And with the Fire King, it also came, another box was there, and there was a few vintage pieces in that. Got some milk glass, it's a little snack tray or something, dip tray, I don't know, milk glass. I don't buy milk glass because, now I do when it comes in a lot, and it gives me a chance to study the value of milk glass, but as far as I can tell, milk glass isn't very valuable unless it's extremely old and antique. Most of the pieces you're going to find are more vintage from, say, the 50s to the 70s. And if you think you have an old piece of milk glass, you can actually stick it up to the light, and if you stick it up to the sun, your edges will actually iridescent and they'll almost glow. And that's the really old milk glass, because that was made out of with salt deposits. Modern milk glass is more of a paint mix, I believe. Now, these kind of pieces, especially since I'm not usually able to find a maker's mark on these, which makes them difficult. If you can find a maker's mark, and there are some good brands of milk glass that do have some value, but if you can't find a maker's mark, then you have to search just the image and the pattern, the hobnails and whatever, and you could just search all day on eBay and try to find the exact piece, and you might find it, and then somebody might actually know the brand. Because a lot of these, there's no maker's mark, but they maybe had a sticker or something on them originally, but what's the odds that that paper sticker is still on there? And so, or it comes in a box with the brand name. Now, so, trying to figure out the value of something like these. Now, remember, I got all of this for $2.50. But, so as a general rule, I don't buy milk glass unless I can find an actual maker's mark. But these are the kind of things, I suppose, looking them up, but you probably list these for $10 plus shipping, and you could probably sell them. Or it's a great item to have a whole table full of this kind of stuff on a garage sale, because, well, let's get real, there's still collectors in milk glass. Some of these old grandmas love this kind of stuff, and so, if you got a garage sale, you can move it, and so if I can get it for basically nothing, I'll buy it, but I wouldn't go out trying to be in the milk glass collectors money-making club. And speaking about, it's not milk glass, but there was a bunch of pieces of basically this cut glass crystal that also came in the box And once again, just this pure cut glass stuff, a lot of times you won't find any maker's mark or anything on them, and so it's really hard to gauge who made it. And this comes in a few pieces. We got this guy. There's a bowl, and I mean it's pretty stuff, but unless I can find a maker's mark or match the exact pattern, I don't know who made it. And so a lot of these things are basically, you know, you can list them on your garage sale for $5-10 a piece probably, and, you know, list them high with a little room to negotiate. But, and you know, I'll probably end up listing them online with just like $10 price tags plus shipping, and somebody might know what it is and really want it. This piece too, I mean, it's a cool piece, but once again, no maker's mark or anything, and so I don't know. This seems to be a thing to just sit something else on. Has little spots there. I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, but with no maker's mark and stuff, I just don't know how to actually overly sell this very well. Stuff, it's just cut glass or crystal, but somebody might just love the coloring. But it's, to me, this is stuff that probably this summer I'll put on a garage sale or something for, you know, $5-10 a piece. Let somebody lot it up and make a deal. Alright guys, that's what I had for you today. That's what I picked up at my local auction the other day. If you like this video, please hit the like button and the subscribe button. And I have lots more videos coming out. I have, well, I think this is like the 10th or 11th video that I put out in the last few weeks. So if this is the first video you've watched, go ahead and start from the beginning. And I'll have more videos coming out. Probably get a couple more out this week for you. Alright guys, Coleman, the Up North Picker, out.